Then maybe just from a SharePoint point of view, obviously we use SharePoint very specifically as the gateway in between yourselves and us. Now, it's very similar to that of a Dropbox or a WeTransfer, but with that being said, obviously much more secure, all right, because it does adhere to Microsoft's white paper security controls. And from our perspective and point of view, what it also enables us to do is to set various levels of access, not only just on actual projects. So in other words, if you've got two projects on the go at that particular stage, what would be happening is if those two projects have different contributors, and let's say also those two projects has the one project has more sensitive information, and some of the contributors that's working in two teams are not allowed to even see the other project. It enables us then to, from a security point of view, lock certain contributors out of that project so that they're not even aware that that project's on the go. If we are focusing more on the level of a specific project, and there's, for example, 5 contributors that's allowed to work on that particular project, we will grant access to those 5 particular users. And if in the event, like let's say, for example, within that team of 5 contributors, only one person is allowed to see very sensitive data, and maybe that's the remuneration report, we can lock out the other 4 users in particular not to even be able to see the document or to edit and work and contribute on the document. Whereas the contributor that has the main level of access and that's allowed to see that document will be able to make contributions. So that's maybe just from a SharePoint understanding. Now also with iEdit, it's very important to understand that it's a cloud-based technology. So in other words, that enables you to, pretty much work from home or from the office, and especially quite useful in this particular time now that we're in lockdown. Now, with that being said, also, I think it's also very important to understand, because it's an online tool, that we should be working with the documents online all the time. Because these 2 documents in this particular example does become your master documents. And when we're saying master documents, I mean, that almost becomes the Bible of the content that's going to feed into your outputs. So you should always be working online and contributing online, as opposed to taking this file and downloading it to your desktop and then working from your desktop. Because there is an instance where versioning can become an issue due to the fact that if you are the person that's working offline with a document, and it's an actual fact an online tool, and you've got your other team collaborators and in turn that would be working on the documents, if that was the case and you were working offline, by the time that you put back the document into your input area, it will actually overwrite all the changes that was made by the other contributors that were working online. So that's a very important factor to do realize and do take notice of. Then also just maybe from a versioning perspective, just so that you could see another usage of SharePoint, each and every single file within your input area would have like a version history associated with it. So in other words, right from the origination of a specific document, or with all the various contributors and contributions that's been made, it will show that list of contributions. Just waiting for that to load at the moment. So what you can see here is that I've got, in this example, that in 2017 was the very first date and time stamp associated with this document. And as you can see, throughout the course of this document, it would have some sort of a version control and the associated contributor that was making those particular audits and changes. So from an audit trail perspective, it would be very clear as to whom was last working with the documents and the relevant version and date and timestamp associated with that particular document.